somebody who has served in Ladakh for so many years and has seen the region at the back of your hand, you know the region. So, what is your analysis of, first of all, the terrain? How do you look at this entire Ladakh terrain as such?
Okay, Shashwat, thanks for the wonderful invitation to this, sort of an exchange of ideas, thoughts with you. I'm honored to be with you. And to start off, first I will wish you, as we do in Ladakh, Jule Shashwat.
Thank you.
With that, I would like to say about the terrain, the question which you asked. Terrain of Ladakh, as everyone knows, it is the old desert. And barren hills, temperature from -20 to 30, 40, you can Siachen, of course, one doesn't have to tell you what is minus degrees there. So it is one of the most difficult terrain in which one has to fight the weather first and then fight the enemy. The terrain, you have very few road connections. We have built over a time, and it's now troubling the Chinese and Pakistanis both, because we have realized that we need the lines of communication open more. We have managed to give the best equipment to our troops in Siachen and other places. All in all, we have realized our mistakes over the wars which we had, and we have done our bit, and I think we are going to do in the future. Galwan Valley is the latest problem which China has created more, and I think they're also facing the same music, but China has better terrain in their area, in the sense the roads are more easier to climb up. We have a problem because our hills are very steep on our side of the our country. Terrain otherwise offers greenery only in the valley. If you have to climb, or if you need some troops to get up to you, you need to maintain them. The terrain is not, good for maintaining troops also. So what do? We get airdrops, we get by road, and the road is closed during the winter. The passes are closed. So the terrain, all in all, is a very difficult terrain to fight a war. Survival of the fittest. Ladakh
has been a flashpoint, be it Galwan now or be it 71, in which you had fought. The 62 war, Chinese entered from the Ladakh sector, and then this Pengyangsul Lake has always remained a flashpoint in that area. And then again in 99, Kargil sector, Dras and Kargil, which comes under the district of Ladakh. And again, Galwan, so twice Chinese, twice Pakistanis, they have been in tandem trying to cut Ladakh from mainstream India. So how strategically important is Ladakh for India's security and strategy?
You see, Ladakh is strategically very important. Pakistan and China, as we know, the best of allies, and one common enemy, India, have tried their best to get a foothold or enter into Ladakh. Now, Ladakh, mind you, is a buffer between China and Pakistan, Siachen being the main buffer. So China and Pakistan cannot naturally meet till we have this buffer. And Ladakh, as you know, is the crown, the mukut of India. We have been subjugated to a lot of people coming to capture India over the centuries and loot it. Similarly, Ladakh is a nice place to loot. So China and Pakistan have this aim of theirs to try to get it like they took a lot of Tibet. Okay, Tibet Autonomous Area, we know what has happened there. Though Pakistan and China have tried this sort of game. Now we know Pakistan wants to bleed India by 1,000 million cuts the cut word is very important. Just cut India, cut India. That's okay. China till now actually was not having this border active. It was more of a porous border. It's thousands of kilometers. You can, it is 1,597 kilometers there in Ladakh. And overall, India has a border of 3,488 kilometers with China. So strategically, how it remains for us that we need to have this area and the people with us. People are with us, very God-fearing, tough people. You see them, they are hard as nails. And like the ibex is the mountain goat of Ladakh. It is the Ladakh Scouts, emblem. They are used to this terrain, and we, the troops, except for those local Ladakhi troops, have to go through this sort of familiarization before we get adjusted into that terrain. Now, strategically, China and Pakistan have not been able to get the whole what they wanted. So China started building that road, the famous road, which wants to encircle India. Shashwat, I want to tell you a very interesting point here. There's a game called Go, started in Japan by the samurais. And then China took over this game as a strategic or the tactical battle point, They capture your fingers, the fingers of hills. This game also teaches you that. 4,000 years back, remember this game was started. Today also China, Korea and Japan are following this game. So when we say that they are taking only fingers, how does it matter? No, China has a policy of taking fingers, encircling you, and then capturing you. I'm sure our defense analysts must be going into a lot of things, but I want to remind them of history, of this 4,000 years back game. Please learn and see this game. It will help us. China has not liked India building the roads, along the border. So many bridges. When I was in 71, we didn't have any road. Except from Leh, Khardungla Pass, we used to walk. Even to DBO now, which is the flashpoint, Galwan. Strategically, DBO is the highest airfield in the world. Now, DBO is what China wants very badly. We are not going to give in any chance to them DBO, Daulat Bale Oldie. It is along the old Silk Route, and that's what China wants today also with Pakistan to encircle India in this area with Ladakh and capture that area. This is the ball game. Now, in 71 ops, 1971 war, we have realized the importance, so we opened a front. We opened a new front. China never dreamt that we will open a front with Pakistan into the Nubra Valley. There's where Colonel Shivang Rinchen earned his second Mahavir Chakra. We captured heights at 17,000 to 18,000 feet. And we rolled down. Ladakh, you want to fight a war, you have to roll down. You cannot fight a war climbing the heights and fighting. You have to climb, you are finished there only. So more important, capture the heights and roll down, which Colonel Rinchen was a master of that art. Lion of Ladakh, he is called. Actually, he is the one who has raised the Nubra force there. And that's how we Indian army gained by learning his tricks and learning our tricks of local Ladakhis. Strategically, I have one more point to say. The rivers, the Shyok River, it has very big potential. The Indus River, as it goes into Pakistan, and then it becomes the, Pakistan's mainstay of water resources. Strategically, we have a lot to gain for thermal sort of power. Geothermal potential of Ladakh is huge. Now that it's become a union territory, we want to gain on this power. China knows that its power is, we have a lot of resources there, minerals, marble. We have the marble resources, we have the granite resources, lot of things which China will gain in its border areas and give to Pakistan, and both of them will try to, encircle India. So strategically, the importance of Ladakh cannot be ruled at all down. Siachen, we must hold on physical presence to this frozen battlefield, as it is called. Physical presence is only to Nubra Valley. If you have read the map correctly, there is the Sasoma belt which goes into Siachen. Now, Sasoma in 1971 was where we had our dropping zone, DZ. The aircraft used to come and drop from a lot of heights, food for us. Today we have got roads. Today we got the convoys coming right up to the base camp of Siachen. So a lot has happened. It's a 50 years back story. 50 years India has done very well. So strategically, I think I have painted a picture, importance of how Ladakh is important to the enemy, but more important to us, and no chance of giving it to the enemy, even if we have to fight a full-fledged war. Today, it's only a border war. China also wants it only as a border war. Pakistan tried a Kargil and got a bloody nose. You know, Shashwat, in 71 war, when we opened up this new front to the Nubra Valley, this small force of Ladakh scouts, I was there. I was privileged to be next to Rinchen. I was in the leading troops, the tactical headquarters. We captured 800 square kilometers. 800 square kilometers of area from Pakistan. Today, it is our fist where we can roll down anytime and hit Pakistan into Gilgit area and go on to the Baluch area. This is our importance of Ladakh. Okay, the meaning of Ladakh, I must tell you, it's a land of passes. Passes, Ladakh. Okay, I hope I have covered that aspect. Shashwat.
Yes, so coming to the current issue of Chinese belligerence on the Ladakh front and the Galwan incident, and since then we are reading reports about China discussing the disengagement with India. What is your assessment of 1 year plus of Galwan incident? Has anything changed after that clashes that happened on the Ladakh heights? What are you think the possibilities are? Chinese talk about disengagement. They are always talking about disengagement, but can we trust Chinese? That is number one. And number two, what are our options henceforth?
Okay, Shashwat, 1 year has gone since the Galwan issues commenced, when we lost 20 of our brave Jawans, including officers. And I don't know how many they lost. I hope they lost double the strength. That point is that I don't think situation has changed much. It's quite a grim situation. China talks of the disengagement plan, but China wants us to vacate the heights which we have captured, which they never thought. And we have put our troops on top there. As I told you, anyone on top in Ladakh has advantage. Later on, China has brought in their tanks, brought in howitzers, and all sort of paraphernalia. But we hold the heights. Now, China says any disengagement or of course, de-escalation has taken place in a way, yes, in a way. But troops are there. And the situation, as I look at it, is grim. No one wants the border war to restart, neither China or we. So at the moment, there's a hotline which is between the corps commanders, so that any escalation of the friction points, the corps commanders can bring in a sort of a halt there. So that advantage is there, that the hotline is there between the corps commanders, and that China and India have agreed now to go in for a division commander level talks. That means it's come down to the lowest tactical battlefield. Now, lowest tactical field, like I am a commander in my side and his commander in China, we want to get the heights. Now, I'm not going to give the heights. The friction points of Gogra and the hot springs, they still remain. China is saying, first vacate that and then we will do. So I don't look at it either way that's going to happen. I think where we are at the moment, we will have to make that the LAC, and China also will have to build their own infrastructure there. And we will also, I don't think I see any pulling back to pre-Galwan line of LAC, as we call line of actual control. You got the point. Now today, China has retreated only from the Pangong Lake. Pangong Lake, as you know, if you have gone there, is one of India's most beautiful tourism spot for Ladakh. Now China was in the finger area behind. They came down and they fought with us there. Now they have gone back again to the height because sitting in the lake or down area, they are sitting ducks. So I don't think they have given much there. They've just gone back to the place where there are advantages. They can see the lake and that's all. We should not be happy with that couple of places there they have vacated and gone back. And some tanks must have moved back. No, it's as it is not a tank battle. The battle is only of troops, manpower, infantry, and of course, Air Force. Air Force is going to play a very big part now in any future warfare in Ladakh. And there we are holding the DBO, highest airfield. This is our advantage. So I don't think that we should try to look and get both kuch hone wala. No, sorry, it's not going to happen. I know Ladakh very well. Where you have gone, I think that will become the LAC. Maybe a few kilometers here up and down, we may agree to, but we should not think that you're going to go back to places. Now, even DBO, if you take DBO, China wants DBO very badly. China wants Siachen very badly. Pakistan wants Siachen very badly. Neither of them going to come their way. Now, DBO is just next to Karakoram Pass. I used to climb Karakoram Pass twice a month. I've done it for 4 months. 18,402 feet. I used to take 4 days from my base camp to climb to that Karakoram Pass. China used to take half an hour to reach there. Even that time, I'm talking 71, today 50 years, they have done a lot of infrastructure, we have done. But look at the location. China used to reach in half an hour, I used to reach in 4 days. I used to climb that to look at our national flag was there. And I was going to protect that national flag. Every time I went there, China had taken it. How they used to take it? They used to bring that helicopter and take our national flag. Every time we had to replace it because we had no physical presence in DBO. Today, I think Ladakh Scouts, I don't know the exact location of troops there. Even if I know, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, the point is, we need to hold on to DBO with more strength. I will come into options available later on. Air Force will have to be a big holding power with troops in DBO. Mark my words, this will be a reality in days to come. So that is what I feel about this location. I don't think we should dream big, and we should not. Why we want to ask China to go back? Why? We should build our infrastructure there and we should send troops more forward. That's all. First they were in Leh, then went Little Head. Now they'll go Little Head. Yes, troops will suffer. Our administration will suffer. Our medical lines will suffer. But there is no going back. We can't trust China at all. 100 years of Chinese Communist Party, you saw what they showed to the world. They flexed their muscle power to the US, to anyone. We must realize India is a big nuclear power and a big superpower in the making. China does not want it. So let's not dream that China is going to give kushi. No, we need to be equal to them. And if at all they lift that dragon, we need to bloody cut the head of that dragon. Okay, right. That's Shashwat.
So you spoke about the Air Force and the Daulat Beg Oldie. That is what DBO that you are saying. Now,
Yes.
where do we go from here? If now we are seeing increasing Bonoheim between Pakistan and China, and they have always been eyeing to cut off Ladakh to take Siachen, and Kargil was an
Yes.
outcome of that. They wanted to avenge Siachen. Now,
Right.
are we prepared for a joint action from Pakistan and China, considering that we are still not we have still not put up our the proposed mountain strike corps is not for full strength. Our Air Force squadrons are also not up to full strength, and on over and above that, the army top brass is talking about cutting the number of soldiers because of the inflated salary and pension bill and all these things. So, do you think we are in a position to really do what is required to take on, say, a combined action from Pakistan and China, leave alone combined action, even China as a alone foe?
Yes, it's a very nice question of yours. Excuse me. To take on China and Pakistan, both on one front, which is only Ladakh, is a difficult task, no doubt. But if it happens that both decide to attack India simultaneously, we have to be prepared for it. Today, we are not having as many troops as you said, that core which has to be raised in that strength will have to be raised in that strength. Those people who are talking of cutting down teeth to tail ratio is very good. I don't want to go into that. There are senior officers who have discussed and maybe decided with the government. But Ladakh, I think they will have to forget that sort of policy of reduction of troops. Ladakh will see only increase of troops if India wants to hold on to Ladakh. And I'm sure India wants to hold on anyhow. So more troops will come in. They will have to bring in if they are not there already. I think we need to bolster the image of Ladakh as being our solid fist. Now, solid fist means we need solid power there. So we'll have to pump in troops. We'll have to have infrastructure. We'll have to have more closer to the border like Pakistan. Today, you see what's happened. Aksai Chin, which China is again very much interested because of Tibet. They want Aksai Chin. They want Siachen. They want DBO. Now they know it's not going to happen. So why not make this border active? You know, mountains eat troops. It's a very old saying. You don't know which heights you want. You look at that height, you want at this height, this height. So mountains, if you go for all the heights, troops are gone. So we selective heights will be have to held, and good amount of troops will have to be pumped there. No escape from it. I don't think without more troops, you can take on China and Pakistan at one time. Air Force will play a very important part. So Air Force base of DBO will have to be bolstered and become a solid base. Air Force will have to hold on with the armed forces there. Our armed forces which are looking after DBO front, I think it is going through Indus Valley, Umlung, as we call Umlung front. I don't know whether you heard of this front. It will come into play, Umlung. Umlung goes to Sasarla, Sasar Branza, where I was. It goes into Chongtash. Chongtash, it goes into DBO. So this front, India will have to build. China and Pakistan cannot interfere in this front because very much in our area, and it's a good front to hold on and fix China nicely in DBO belt. As far as Pakistan is concerned, we are already doing well in Kargil. We are doing well in the Nubra Valley. So Pakistan basically cannot open a front here. if at all they can do some little bit of chhed-chad, aapko tang karna. That's all. But otherwise, I don't. Pakistan is not having a full-fledged battle potential there. Yes, China can come in with a full-fledged battle potential, and Pakistan can chedo us. So a lot of troops will have to be tied down there. If we want, we have to open a new front with China. I think we'll have to think of where we have to attack China, from where we will go into China and make their life miserable. Like we opened up the Nubra Valley front and made Pakistan life miserable, we have to give threat to China. This is my belief in Ladakh. One front where China knows India is going to roll down into China. This is what I feel. Anything from your next question, I will try to answer.
Well, that's all from my side. Thank you for such insightful interaction. I hope your suggestions and your valuable inputs when they go into the public domain are taken up and considered seriously by the top brass, and some consideration is done on that and food for thought is used. Thank you, sir, for your time and for all the valuable inputs. And we are proud to have people like you, such senior veterans, experienced veterans amongst us, who are continuously giving newer insights into various security and strategy related issues of the country. Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
I would also like to thank you, Shashwat, and your team. You are doing a very nice job for the country. And I think they will realize in time to come how important that you are making people know about it. And I welcome you whenever you want me. I'll be there for you. Thoughts Foundation will be always with you. And Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir.